of this MAT. So we have RCM. RCM is the investor here. It has gone to a company called MAT in Uganda and bought 100% of that college. So automatically MAT will be a sub or a subsidiary of RCM. However, ladies and gentlemen, one thing we need to know is that now RCM, which is the parent company, this is the parent company, has a subsidiary which is located in a different country. So then MAT, which is a subsidiary in Uganda, will be called a foreign subsidiary. A foreign subsidiary. A foreign subsidiary. So if it's a foreign subsidiary, what does IFRS require us to do when we are consolidating the financial statements of these two entities? Now listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are required by IFRS to report in a single currency. The group financial statements here must be in a single currency called what here? The reporting currency. So reporting currency is the same as what here? The parent's currency. The parent's currency, which in this particular case will be what we call the Kenya shillings. The Kenya shilling will be the reporting currency, the parent's currency. The other currency here, of course, we have got two currencies involved. We have the Uganda shillings. So in this case here, the foreign subsidiary currency will be just a functional currency. Although I don't want to go into that, the most important thing is for us to appreciate that in group consolidation, we shall be taking the figure of the parent. So for example, if sales of RCM is 1 million, and then we have a sales of MAT in Uganda is 1.5 million. These are Uganda shillings. These are Kenya shillings. Kuna siku mwanafunzi alinifurahisha sana. Alisema consolidation. Consolidation ni ku-add. Sasa anakuja na add hizi pamoja, ati anapata 2.5 million. Huyu mwanafunzi utamwambia namna gani wewe? Mwanafunzi kama huyu utamwambia namna gani? Amejua concept kwamba consolidation is about, in this case here, putting together, adding. Haiwezekani. Not rest in peace. No. There is no way you can add these currencies the way they are. We must look for the foreign currency, the foreign subsidiary metrics must be translated to the parent's currency, must be translated to what we call the reporting what here? Reporting currency. That is so important to us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen and listen to me very well. Please listen. Please listen. In your exam, always, for purposes of translation, for purposes of translation, you will be given three currencies. In most cases, you will be given what we call the historical rate. At times we get some books calling it the acquisition rate, exchange rate. All right. You'll be given the closing, or rather the average first, the average rate. You'll be given the average rate. And then lastly, you'll be given the closing rate, the closing rate. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm given these three kind of rates here, how will I apply them during my translations? There is one thing I will never forget, that income statement parameters always use the average rate. Thank you very much, Carol. Income statement, things like sales. You see, like now sales, of course, at times will be told that use the historical rate. But you see sales, we have got many of them in a year. The transactions, the sales transactions are like 1 million if it's a good company. Like now yourselves, how did you pay us? There are people who paid us at the beginning of the semester. There are people who will even pay us today. So sales, we can only, in this case here, use what we call an average rate. So if it's income statement, income and expenses, always translate them using the average rate. So income stroke expenses, always translate them using Income statement item, yes. How about this closing? Remember, closing rate is the same as reporting rate, end of year rate. Caroline is telling me, Mwalimu, here, we always use, in this case here, we always use this rate for balance sheet. For balance sheet. How about acquisition rate? How about acquisition rate? The date of acquisition. Let me remain silent a little bit there. Let me remain silent a little bit there. Very easy. You see, ladies and gentlemen, something to do with what here? Something, for example, listen, there are a few things that you will be using this acquisition rate, right? For example, you'll be calculating what we call the goodwill at acquisition. Do you remember goodwill at acquisition? Do you remember goodwill at acquisition? Do you remember? Ah, great. No, first of all, do you remember goodwill at acquisition? Yes, yes. And any asset that you are able, to, for example, do revaluations during acquisition, etc., we shall be using this. Ladies and gentlemen, to guide us through here, this question, I have a very good ACCA question. Have you seen that ACCA question on your WhatsApp? Have you seen that ACCA question on your WhatsApp? Ah, great. Wanasema no. Okay. Just a minute. The Lagos one, yes. Lagos. Ah, that's okay. We shall overcome. Okay. Okay. So Lagos, so I'm looking for this other group I know must be having an issue. They haven't gotten the free zote mbili. Ah, great. So all of us have gotten that question. The Lagos and Nigeria. Wanasema Nigeria. I've never known why they put an N there. I've never known why they put. So wanasema the following are the summarized accounts of Nigeria and the Lagos. So you can see Nigeria is in dollars and Lagos is in DN. All right? Kuna wale ambao wajapata iko mnafunza za tumatuma haraka kwa hizo group mbili. Please, kama hujapata enda kwa WhatsApp, sema kwa group yenu, sema I haven't received. I'll be able to send you right away. Sema you haven't received in your group. In your group. Great. Sasa wanasema additional information. Nigeria acquired 40,000 shares in Lagos on the first day of the accounting period for DN 400,000 when the retained earnings were DN 50,000 and the fair value of the NCI was DN 30,000. Note number 2, at the date of acquisition, the fair value of Lagos non-current assets, which at that time had a remaining useful life of 10 years, exceeded their book value by DN 10,000. So wanasema kwa group ya AFM, kuna wanafunzi wakapo watumie kwa hiyo group ya AFM. Ushatuma tayari? Okay, great. Let me give them 1 minute ndio tuanze pamoja. 1 minute ndio tuanze pamoja. Ladies and gentlemen, trust you me, especially now that we are starting our revision, right? Instance of video and audio pausing. Is that the case for everybody? Are you guys able to hear me very well? This is a crucial lesson.